Listen. So till now we have discussed, last class we mainly concentrated on the heating effects of electric current and their practical applications. So we have seen, right? So is there any doubt from the previous class? Or is there any doubt from the topics we have discussed till now? Is everything clear?
No doubt, sir.
Good. Okay. So the last topic that is pending in this chapter is electric power. Okay. With that, we are done with this chapter, and we will be solving some textbook problems. Listen. So the topic is electric power. Please write it down. So the concept of electric power is already discussed in the previous class itself. I told you. So power is equal to work done by time. So what is work done? Work done is written as V into Q divided by T. This also we have seen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is this Q divided by T called as? It is I. So V multiplied with I is what is going to give you the power. But we know that V is equal to IR. So you take this IR and substitute it here, it will be I square R. So power is equal to I square R is one of the formulae. Or I can write I is equal to V by R. So P is equal to V multiplied with, in the place of I will write it as V by R. That is going to be V square divided by R. So power is equal to VI or I square R or V square divided by R. Correct? So this is what is all about the electric power, right? So the SI unit of electric power is also what, right? So how can you write 1 watt? So power is equal to VI. This is the basic formula, guys. If somebody asks you, define electric power in terms of voltage and current, you should say it like this. Electric power is defined as the product of the potential difference and the current flowing through that particular device. So power is equal to V into I, and power is measured in watt. Watt is equal to, how is the voltage measured in? It is measured in volt, and current is measured in ampere. Okay, wow? So current is measured in ampere. So volt into ampere is what is 1 watt. Okay. So next comes an important question. Suppose you go commercially. Okay. So you would have heard about the electricity bill that you receive at your home. Yes or no? You guys know about the electricity bill, right? Your parents would be paying.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the question is, how will the government know what is the amount of power that you have consumed? So how is the government going to know, or how is the government rather calculating it? That's what we need to understand. So that unit is what is called as the commercial unit of electrical energy. It's called as commercial unit of electrical energy, and government will measure the amount of energy that you have consumed in terms called as kilowatt hour. Okay, let me read it out. The unit of watt is very small. Therefore, in actual practice, what we do is we use larger unit called as kilowatt. So kilo means how much? Kilo is 10 power 3. So 10 power 3 watts is what is called as 1 kilowatt. Since electrical energy is a product of power and time, because power is equal to energy by time. I would have told work done by time, but we know that work done is nothing but the energy that is consumed. So can I write energy is equal to power into time? Right. So what is the commercial unit for power that is used? They don't use watt, they use kilowatt into, the time is not calculated in seconds, rather it is calculated in hour format. So if you are able to calculate this kilowatt and multiply it with hour, then that is what is going to give you the commercial value of the electrical energy of that particular system. If you want to know what exactly it means, you will be having an EB meter at your home. EB means electricity board meter at your house, where you'll be able to find a wheel. When that wheel is revolving, no, that will tell you the amount of energy consumed by you. You will be able to see the reading. Those readings, whatever you're seeing there, is measured in terms of kilowatt hour. So that is why it is called as the commercial unit of electrical energy. Okay. So generally they don't, when you get the electricity bill, no, they generally tell in terms of units. Like they will say your AC will consume 5 units per hour, something like that. Your fan will consume 0.5 units per hour, something. When they say unit, that unit is nothing but kilowatt hour. Have that in your mind. Okay. Now comes an important question. There are certain conversions that you need to know. So please write it down. How are you going to write 1 kilowatt hour in terms of joule? Okay. So what is joule, guys? Joule is nothing but Newton into seconds. So Newton second is what is called as joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is how much? Kilowatt means how much? 1000 watt into 1 hour is how many seconds? Is it not 3600 seconds? Right. So 1000 into 3600 into, look at the units, no? Watt multiplied with second. So is it not 3.6 into 10 power 6? Right? Is it not 3.6 into 10 power 6? Watt can be written as joule per second into second. Second and second will get cancelled. You will get the answer as 3.6 into 10 power 6 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is exactly equal to 3.6 multiplied with 10 power 6 joule. Clear?
Yes, sir.
This is how you measure the electrical unit of energy. I will show with an example problem. If you have copied this, I'll do the problem and show it to you. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. So, there is an electrical bulb which is connected to a 220 volt generator. Okay. So, there is an electrical bulb which is connected to a 220 volt generator. The current that is flowing is how much? Is 0.5 ampere. What is the power of the bulb? What did they say power is? Power is equal to voltage multiplied, that is a potential difference multiplied with the current. So it is 220 into 0.5. 0.5 is nothing but half. It will give you 110. What is the unit? 110 watt. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next. The next question is, there is an electrical refrigerator. So the normal fridge which you use it here. There is an electrical refrigerator which is rated 400 watt. So the power rating for that device is 400 watt. It operates 8 hours per day. So time is equal to 8 hours per day. Okay. What is the cost of the energy to operate it for 30 days at rupees 3 per kilowatt hour? Okay. What is the cost of energy? So energy consumed. What is energy consumed? Energy consumed is power multiplied with time. So power is 400 watt. Whenever we speak about commercial energy, the watt should be converted to kilowatt. Okay, remember this. Watt is to be converted to kilowatt means divide with 1000. If kilowatt is to be converted to watt, if kilowatt is to be converted to watt, multiply with 1000. Okay. So watt is to be converted to kilowatt. 400 watt is how much? Is it not 0.4 kilowatt? Similarly, if time is given in terms of seconds, convert it to hours. So I can write it as 0.4 kilowatt multiplied with 8. So how much am I going to get? I will get 3.2 kilowatt hour. Are you able to understand? So if a fridge runs in your house for 8 hours, How much is the units consumed by it? It consumes 3.2 kilowatt hour. Okay, this is per day. This is energy consumed per day. Then what will be the energy consumed per month? Guys, tell me, energy consumed per month. It is 3.2 into how many days?
30, sir.
30.
It is 30. Then how much is it? 30, 96 kilowatt hour.
96.
So it consumes 96 kilowatt hour for 30 days, where you run it for 8 hours per each day. So 1 kilowatt hour costs 3 rupees. 96 kilowatt hour will cost you 96 into 3 rupees. How much is it? It is 280.
288 rupees.
So for the fridge alone, you're paying an amount of 288 rupees to the government. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
That's the meaning. Very good. We'll move on to the next problem. What determines the rate at which energy is delivered by a current? What determines the rate at which the energy is delivered by a current? It is electric power. This is the electric power, no, that speaks. Next. An electric motor takes 5 ampere from 220 volt line. Determine the power of the motor and the energy consumed in 2 hours. So what is given there? I is 5 ampere, V is 220 volt. So what is power? It is V into I. 220 into 5. How much is it? 11,000 watt. So it consumes a power of 11,000 watt, and they are asking the energy consumed in 2 hours. For energy consumed, what am I supposed to do? I need kilowatt hour. So I have 1100 watt. 1100 watt is how many kilowatts?
11, sir.
1.1.
It is 1.1.
1.1. Sorry, sir.
It is 1.1 kilowatt. So energy consumed is 1.1 kilowatt multiplied with 2 hours. So answer will be 2.2 kilowatt hour. That is the energy consumed by that particular motor in 2 hours. Clear? Right? So are we ready to solve the problems from book back? Right. So here, if you observe, most of the questions will be based on the resistance and all those parameters and Ohm's law mostly. So there is a piece of wire of resistance capital R which is cut into 5 equal parts. Wait. There is a piece of wire of resistance capital R which is cut into 5 equal parts. These parts are then connected in parallel. If the equivalent resistance of this combination is R dash, then R divided by R dash is how much? Okay. So there is a piece of wire whose resistance is R. Okay. If it is cut into 5 equal parts, what will be the resistance of each part? Resistance of each part is how much? How much, Forgot, huh? R is equal to rho into L divided by A. So here what all parameters are constant? It is the same wire. So resistivity is
Length.
constant. Area of cross section is constant. So R is directly proportional to L. Means if the length of the wire was L, the resistance was R. Now when it is cut into 5 equal parts, then the length of each part will be how much?
L by 5.
If it is L by 5, what will happen to the resistance?
R by 5.
So the total resistance itself will get divided into 5 equal parts. Okay. Now these 5 parts are connected across each other in what combination?
Parallel.
Parallel. R by 5, R by 5, R by 5, R by 5, and R by 5. So 1 by equivalent resistance in parallel is equal to 1 divided by R by 5 plus 1 divided by R by 5, so on till 1 divided by R by 5. How many times? 5 times. So 1 divided by Rp is equal to 5 divided by R by 5. So this 5 will go to the numerator. So it will be 25 divided by R, which implies Rp is equal to R divided by 25. So resistance of this parallel combination is R divided by 25, and this is what they called it as R dash. And the equivalent resistance of this combination is R dash. Now what are they expecting? R divided by R dash is how much? So R is how much? R only. R dash is R divided by 25. R and R will get cancelled. 25 will go to the numerator. Answer is 25. So answer will be 25:1. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Shall I move on to the next problem?
Yes, sir.
So, which of the following terms does not represent electric power in a circuit? I square R, IR square, VI, V square by R. So there are 3 formulae for power. What did I say? Power is equal to VI, V square by R, or I square R. So look at it. I square R, IR square, VI, V square by R.
IR square, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, option B.
Option B is the wrong answer. Okay. Next. There is an electric bulb rated 220 volt and 100 volt. When it is operated on 110 volt, the power consumed will be how much? Listen. There is an electric bulb rated 220 volt, 220 volt. Power is equal to 100 watt. Okay. So, if the same bulb is operated on 110 volt, what would be the power they're asking? So, let's visualize it first. You have a bulb. The bulb is connected across a power source of how much value? 220 volt. Right. Then, if the same bulb is connected across 110 volt, then what is going to be the power rating of this? Here power rating is 100 watt. How to solve? Power is equal to V into I,
Volt into I.
square R, or V square divided by R. So whenever these kind of power and voltage problems come, I always suggest you to find the resistance of that bulb and use it in the second case. Okay, so I will use the third formula. Power is equal to V square divided by R. So what is the value of V square? 220 square divided by R is how much? 100. Huh? So 220 square means 48400 by R is equal to 100. Cancel it. So what will be the value of resistance, guys? Is it not 484 ohm? The resistance of this bulb is 484 ohm. The same bulb is connected here. R is equal to 484 ohm. So power is equal to V square divided by R. V square is how much? 110 square divided by R is 484. So how much are you going to get? 11 square is 121. No? So 12100 divided by 484. So this will be 1100 divided by how much are you going to get here?
Sir, answer is 25 watt.
Is it 25? So 25 volt. So what we can do is one thing. This is one way to solve. This is a slightly lengthier way. I'll tell you an easier way to solve. Power is equal to V square divided by R. Since R is the same in both the cases, I can say P is directly proportional to V square. Then, okay, I'll not confuse you with this. Listen, power is equal to V square by R. So in the first case, it is 100 is equal to, listen. I want to teach you the calculation. 100 is equal to V square is how much? 220 square divided by R. Let this be equation number 1. In the second case, power is equal to 110 square divided by R. Did you understand what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The second with first equation implies P divided by 100 is equal to 110 square by R divided by 220 square divided by R. R and R are gone. So it is 110 into 110 divided by 220 into 220. Cancel them 2 times, cancel them 2 times. So 4 times. P divided by 100 is 1 by 4, which implies P is equal to 25 volt. Okay, there's another way. I would suggest you to go with this. First, we need not find the resistance. Sorry guys, just a minute. You can try the next problem. Yeah. So two conducting wires of the same material. Wherever you see same material, what do you understand?
The area of cross section is the same.
Rama? No. Same material has nothing to do with the dimensions. Wherever you see same material, its resistivity is
So
constant.
resistivity is same, sir.
Resistivity is same. Please have it in your mind. Same material, resistivity is same. Here in this case, they are saying equal lengths and equal diameters. In the sense, length is same and diameter is same. Okay. So there are two conducting wires which are made of the same material, same length and same area. They are connected in series and then in parallel across the same potential difference. The ratio of heat produced in series and parallel combination will be how much? It's a good question. So by them giving it as same material, same length and same area, indirectly what are they trying to tell us? Indirectly, what are they trying to tell us? That the resistance for both the devices is same. Guys, please make a note of that point. Wherever they say equal same material, same length, and same area, they're indirectly trying to tell us that the resistance is same for both the materials. Okay. Now, the ratio of heat produced in series and parallel combination. First, they are connected in series. R and R, they are connected in series across the same potential source V, R and R. Then they are connected in parallel across the same potential source V. Okay. How to find the heat generated in both the cases? So what is the formula for heat? I square RT. It is a Joule's law of heating. Last class we saw. Right. So my job is to find the current in both the cases and multiply it with the equivalent resistance. So in this case, what is going to be the equivalent resistance for series? So the equivalent resistance for series combination is?
So 2R.
Very good. The equivalent resistance for parallel combination is?
Sir, R by 2.
Very good. R by 2. Okay. So heat in the first case will be, I can either use I square RT or V square by R into T also. So this is heat in series. What about heat in parallel? It is also V square divided by R into T. Right. So V square divided by, in the place of R, what should I write? 2R into time. In the place of parallel, V square divided by R by 2 into time. So they're asking heat in series by heat in parallel, that is V square T divided by 2R divided by V square T divided by R by 2. So V square T will get cancelled, R will get cancelled, 2 will go to the numerator, 1 is to 4 is the answer. You have an option like that. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Good. There is any doubt, please stop me. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Is the space okay, or can I go a little fast or slow? Which one do you prefer? Can I go a little fast? Or is this okay? Guys, answer some. This is okay? Okay, then I'll go like this. So how is a voltmeter connected in the circuit to measure the potential difference between 2 points? Direct question.
In parallel.
That's it. So it should be connected in parallel, and the reason for that is only in parallel connection the potential difference will be the same across 2 points. Okay, that's the thing. Next. There is a copper wire. You guys try this. There is a copper wire which has a diameter of 0.5 millimeter. That is 0.5 into 10 power minus 3 meter. Its resistivity is how much? 1.6 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. What will be the length of this wire to make its resistance 10 ohm? So resistance is 10 ohm. They're asking length should be how much? How much will the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? Okay. Listen to this. What is the formula that gives the relation between R, rho, L, and A? R is equal to rho into L divided by A. Rho is 1.6 into 10 power minus 8 into L is how much? That's what we need to find. Divided by area is how much? So area of cross section of a cylinder is pi r square or pi d square divided by 4 because r is equal to d by 2. It is pi into d square divided by 4. So it is 1.6 into 10 power minus 8 divided by pi. I am approximately taking it as 3.2 so that the calculation will be easy. 3.2 into d square is how much? 0.5 into 10 power minus 3 the whole square divided by 4. So this will go approximately 2 times, this will go 2 times. So how much will you get? 10 power minus 8. So 2 divided by 1 by 4. 1 minute, wait. So 2 will go up. So 2 into 10 power minus 8 divided by 1 by 4 into 10 power minus 6. So that will be approximately 8 into 10 power minus 2. Oh, I forgot length. This will be 2 into 10 power minus 8 divided by 1 by 4 into 10 power minus 6, the whole multiplied with L. So it will be 8 into 10 power minus 2 into L. How much is the resistance, guys? It is 10. So L will be equal to 10 divided by 8 into 10 power minus 2. This will go up. So 10 power 3 divided by 8, those many meters. Okay, those many meters is the answer for its resistance to be 10 ohm. Now, what is the second part of the question they are asking? How much does the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? This is a very important thing. Okay. So what happens is, listen to this carefully, okay? If the length is d and the diameter is d, okay, then how much is the area of pi d square by 4? I will call it as A. Okay. If the diameter is doubled, listen to this very carefully, okay? If diameter is doubled, then what is going to happen to the area? The final diameter will be pi into 2d square divided by 4. That will be 4 pi d square divided by 4. What is pi d square divided by 4? It is A. So the area will become 4 times A. And what will happen to the length? Okay, this is where people ignore. Okay, this is where a common mistake that happens. Generally, what happens? No, people will take it as if the diameter is increased, nothing will happen to the length. No. What will happen here is there is something called as conservation of volume. In the sense, you have a wire in your hand which is of a particular volume. So what is the volume of this material? In the initial case, what is the volume? Is it not area multiplied with length?
Yes, sir.
Right. In the second case also, you have the same amount of material only. So what is supposed to be its volume? Here if the volume is A into L, here if I call it as L dash, then 4A into L dash will be equal to A into L because you have the same amount of material. So 4A and A will get cancelled, L dash will become L by 4. So in this case, what is going to happen to the length?
Divided by 4.
The length will get divided by 4. Are you able to understand? So when diameter doubles, area will become 4 times and length will become 1 by 4 times. This is a very important problem. Please make a note of this. Okay, that's what I bring. That's what they ask. How much does the resistance change if the diameter is doubled?
Sir, can you explain how we got 4A, sir?
Because initial area is pi d square by 4. That point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Final area will be what? Pi into d dash square divided by 4. What is the new diameter now? It is 2 times the diameter. So pi into 2d square divided by 4. So it is pi into 4d square divided by 4. I'm rearranging the equation. I'm not cancelling 4 and 4. I will take the numerator 4 outside. Pi d square by 4. What did we write pi d square by 4 as? Area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it.
Here it is 4 times. That's what I got. Okay, this is an important point. Whenever the area increases, length will decrease. Means area and length are inversely proportional. By whatever factor area is increasing, by the same factor, length will decrease. So area increase 4 times, length will decrease 4 times. Okay. Now they are asking the new resistance. So R dash will be equal to how much? Okay, R dash will be equal to, it is rho into L divided by A. So rho into, what is the value of L, guys? It is L by 4. What is the value of area? 4 times A. So 1 by 16 into rho L by A. You're able to understand this point. But what is rho into L divided by A? Is this not the initial resistance that we have? So 1 by 16 into the initial resistance that we had is 10. So the factor with which it will decrease is 1 by 16. Can someone check the answer? The question is a bit ambiguous here. Are they trying to say that the diameter of the wire itself is increased by 2 times? Or they're trying to say that the area is increased? Check what is the answer. Is anyone having a textbook in hand? By any chance, did they give it as 2.5 ohm?
Sir, they have given us 1 by 4 times.
1 by 4, no? Yeah. So what, that is 2.5. So what they tried to say is, see, generally the concept which I explained is applicable when the area is increased. This question is actually ambiguous. Okay. They should have asked a question like this. How much does the resistance change if the diameter is doubled? In the sense they're trying to, I thought the same wire is elongated. No, that's not what they're saying. According to the answer, I'm trying to decode it from the answer that they gave, but actually according to me it is wrong. But I hope you guys understood the concept, no? Which I tried to explain. So there are
Yes, sir.
problems that will be asked. So when the area is increased, length will decrease. So in this problem, what they're trying to say is the same wire is considered of same length. Okay. The same material is considered with the same length, but they have increased the diameter and kept it constant. So if that is the case, then the problem is simple. So R is equal to rho into L divided by A. Then R dash will be equal to rho into same length. Area will be what? Pi into D dash square by 4. Or it's like I have already proved that area is 4 times A. So 1 by 4 multiplied with rho into L divided by A. This rho into L divided by A is what is 10. So that's why they gave it as 10 by 4. That is 2.5. That is, it will decrease by 4 times. They tried to solve it in a simpler way. So, but the question is ambiguous. If you ask me, still, according to me, it is wrong. But since the NCERT is given like that, I'm going with it. Okay, in this question, what is assumed? Length is not changed, only the diameter is doubled. I hope there is no confusion, right? I hope everyone is clear with this point. Only in this question, you have to consider that the area alone is, the diameter alone is doubled by keeping the length the same. But in general, what will happen whenever the diameter is doubled, the length will also decrease by some factor. That's why I got 1/16, but the answer given in the textbook is 1/4. Okay. Next. The value of current I flowing through a given resistor for the corresponding values of potential difference V across the resistor are given as 0.5 and 1.6, something like this. So they're asking us to plot the graph. They're asking us to plot the graph. Between which two parameters? The current and the potential difference. Okay. So when the current is 0.5, how much is the potential difference? 1.6. When it is 1, it is 3.4. When it is 2, it is 6.7. When it is 3, it is 10.2. When it is 4, it is 13.2. When I join all these, I'll be getting a straight line. This is an output of an experiment named Ohm's law. So this is how you are going to plot the graph. Calculate the resistance. So for resistance, what I can do is, I will so what is the basic formula for resistance? R is equal to V by I. Correct? So instead of V by I, I write it as delta V divided by delta I. Delta means change. So you can take the difference between any two parameters and divide it with the difference between I. So that is 3.4 minus 1.6 divided by 1 minus 0.5. So what is 3.4 minus 1.6? It is 1.8 divided by 0.5. So how much is it? It is 3.61. So resistance in this case is 3.61. Okay, next question. When a 12-volt battery is connected across an unknown resistor, there is a current of 2.5 milliampere in the circuit. Find the value of resistance of the resistor. So what is given? Potential difference is given. Write it down. So potential difference is how much? 12 volt. Current is how much? 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. And resistance is, what is the formula for resistance? R is equal to, just now I wrote it. R is equal to V by I. 12 divided by 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So 2.5 can be written as 5 by 2. So calculate and tell you what is the answer. Okay. What is the answer?
Sir, 4.8 into 10 to the power 3 ohm.
4.8 into 10 power 3 or 4,800 ohm. Both are right. Okay, that's right. Ninth one. There is a 9-volt battery that is connected in series with 2 ohm, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and 12 ohm respectively. How much current is flowing through the 12 ohm resistor? So 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and 12 are connected across a 9-volt battery. How much current would be flowing through the 12 ohm resistor? How to do this? So calculate the total currents. How are they connected? In series? No. So equivalent resistance in series in this case is going to be 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.4 plus 0.5 plus 12. How much is it? 0.5 plus 0.4, 0.9, 0.9 plus 0.3 is 1.2, 1.2 plus 2 is 1.4. Correct? 0.9, 0.9 plus 0.3 is 1.2, 1.2 plus 0.2 is 1.4. So 1.4 plus 12 is going to be 13.4 ohm. So what is the value of current now? I is equal to V by R, 9 divided by 13.4. How much ever you are getting the answer as, those many amperes, will be the same current flowing through the 12 ohm resistor. Why?
So the current flowing each resistor will be same in series, sir.
Okay. So current flowing in series is the same in a series connection. Okay. Next. This is a very good question. Mark it as important. So how many 176 ohm resistors should be connected in parallel? How many 176 ohm resistors should be connected in parallel, which would be required to carry a current of 5 ohm, 5 ampere on a 220 volt line. So I have 176 ohm resistors. Like this, I don't know how many resistors are there. I need to connect them in parallel in such a way. I need to connect them in parallel across a 220 volt line so that a current of how much value flows through the circuit? 5 ampere. Right. So how to solve this? Whenever you have a problem based on potential difference, current, and resistance, you should always calculate the equivalent resistance. So what is going to be the equivalent resistance in this case? Let's say there are n resistors that are connected in parallel. Let's say there are n resistors connected in parallel. 1 by Rp will be how much? 1 by Rp will be 1 by 176 plus 1 by 176 plus so on till how many times? 1 by 176, all this put together n times. So 1 by Rp will be equal to, can I write it as n divided by 176? Then what is the value of Rp? It is 176 divided by n. Let me call this as 1. So how is the equivalent circuit going to look like? 176 divided by n is connected across a 220 volt line carrying a current of 5 ampere. So V is equal to IR. V is how much? 220 is equal to I is 5 ampere into 176 divided by n. So 5 and 220 will go 110 times. N will be equal to 176 divided by 110. How much ever you are getting, that is the required answer.
1.6, sir.
But it is not like that. No? 176, no? 220 volt or 200 volt?
220, sir.
220 only, no? Are required to carry a 5 ampere current. So V is equal to IR. 220 is equal to I is 5 ampere into R is 176. Sorry. 5 and 110 will go 45 times, no? 44.
Yes, sir. 44 times.
Sir, 44 times.
Yeah. So here it is 44. So 176 divided by 44, if I'm not wrong, it should be 4. Because last digit is 6.
Yes, sir.
So there should be 4 resistors which are connected in parallel to generate this much amount of current. Okay. One last problem and we'll wind up. Now this is also a good problem. I explained it in the last class, no? Show how would you connect 3 resistors, each of 6 ohm, so that the combination has a resistance of 9 ohm and second case a resistance of 4 ohm. So how many resistors are there? Each is 3 resistors and each resistor is of 6 ohm. You can use either series combination, parallel combination or mixed combination to generate 9 ohm and to generate 4 ohm. How to do it? So if you put all the 6 in series, how much will you get?
18 ohms.
You will get
18 ohms.
If you put
Sir,
all the
18
6, yes. If you put all the 6 in parallel, how much will you get?
1/2, sir.
This is not 1.
ohms.
You will get 2 ohm.
2, sir. 2.
You will get 2. See, it is very simple, okay? If all the resistors are of equal value and they are in parallel, okay, then you have to divide the resistance with the number of resistors. 6 divided by 3 will be 2 ohm for parallel. Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
here, if you observe, it is neither 18 nor 2 ohm. It is somewhere between those values. So what are we supposed to do? We need to definitely go for mixed combination. So there are only 2 possibilities of mixed combination from 3. You can put 2 of them in parallel and 1 in series, or you can put 2 of them in series and that in parallel with them. Okay. 12th one, no? So if I put
11, sir.
okay, 11. If I put 2 of them in series and that combination in parallel with this 6 and 6, okay, or I can put 2 in parallel and that is the other one in series 6 and 6. Okay, so what are the equivalent resistance here? 12 and 6. So if 2 resistors are in parallel, I told you already, R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, 12 into 6 divided by 12 plus 6. So 12 into 6 divided by 18, it will be 3, it will be 4. And here what will happen? You will get 3 plus 6, you will get 9. So to get 9 ohm, 2 6 ohm should be connected in parallel and that should be connected in series with the combination. Similarly, if you want 4 ohm, what are we supposed to do? Put 2 resistors in series and the series combination in parallel to the next 6 ohm resistor. Okay, this is a good problem. I hope I'm clear. Right?
Yes, sir.
So what I want you to do is try the other problems and let me know if there is any doubt. So you can take them as homework, try them out, and if there is any doubt, please let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Regarding the closure, you will get a message by today or tomorrow when we are closing and when we are going to reopen. Please wait for it.